Hello, my friends, and welcome back. And hello, Ekis, my kitty. In today's class, we explore a different aspect of the element of fire. It's the second in a series of 4 classes, and today we explore how fire is a boundary that allows us to contain and protect that which is most precious, both within ourselves and without ourselves. So I hope you'll enjoy today's class. And I'm glad you're here. And so is Ekis. And taking a seat in yoga is its own thing, right? And learning how to give our spine and our hips the support they need so that we can take a comfy seat is its own thing. So we want to often sit up on something to lift our sits bones a little higher so that our knees can be a little lower or at the same level. So if you're sitting and your knees are above your hips, you probably need to get your hips a little higher. And what that does is it simply supports the natural curves of the spine, of which there are several. All right. Feel free to let your eyelids drop as you begin to bring your awareness inward. Begin to notice the movement of your breath in your body. However it is that that's happening, and we're going to start working with that in a few minutes. And if there's a sound you'd like to make on the exhalation, don't hold back. Yeah, the ha sound is very soothing to the nervous system. It's good. Yeah. And feeling sits bones on your cushion, letting the pelvis be heavy, be weighted, be drawn by gravity. Letting something in the face soften or melt. And maybe even noticing where your head is on your spine. And often our head is a little forward of the spine because we spend a lot of time looking down at our screens. So if it feels good, you could gently draw the chin back. And just notice, if you do that, what happens. Good. And today is a second class in a session of 4 classes working with the element of fire. Last week, the theme was cleanse. Fire has many properties. And today we're really going to be focusing on the containing quality of fire. Fire as a boundary, fire as no. And if you'd like, for this moment in your mind's eye, fire is very clarifying. For example, when we feel anger arise in ourselves, one of those emotions that we're told is negative and we're not to have, and yet anger is such an important emotion and signals and clarifies what matters most, very often. And so you can imagine a ring of fire in your mind's eye, and inside of that ring, you might imagine what matters most to you, to this place. And just let your breath sync up with that. And we'll take our hands together in front of the heart and let one hand feel the other, let the finger pads feel each other. And go back into the breath. We'll join our voices for the sound of one Om, and starting with a full exhalation, and then a deep inhalation. And when you're ready, you can release those hands, and I invite you to, if you want to open your eyes now, to take your hands to the sides of the rib cage. So very often when we breathe, we're breathing from the collarbones up, right? And when we do that, it tends to create anxiety in our system and also in our thoughts. And then if we start to get into our breath, it becomes more of an up-down kind of thing. And sometimes we forget the whole space that's available laterally in our breath. So if you bring hands to the sides of the rib cage, let yourself inhale into your hands and feel your rib cage expand as the lungs take in that air, as your being takes in that prana, and then exhale and feel that come back in, contract. We'll do a couple times. So inhale, let that really expand. Bigger than you thought you could get, and then exhale it out. Do one more time. And exhale it out. Good, and we'll come back to that again and again in our practice. Just notice what that feels like. Does it feel different in any way? Yeah. Sometimes it's an untapped resource. Let's do a little side stretch, but first, find your breath and soften into breath. And your next is to draw in towards midline. Yeah, and it might help to even bring your hands to draw in towards midline. Feel the draw to midline. It's a centering, a stabilizer. Good. And now, hands on legs, let the sits bones widen back. Bring a little curve in the lower back. And then keeping the space you've just created in the front of the femur bones, lengthen the back body. The tailbone roots down, the sits bones root down. That's your fire, that's your containing energy. All right, keep all of that. Take your left fingertips to the ground and find your way into a side stretch, and be explorative here, exploratory. You know, maybe your arm wants to find space, explore space a little bit, but stay grounded through the sits bones. Oh, if there's a sound, an involuntary sound, let it rip. Don't hold it back. Oh. Let it rip. That sounds a little different, doesn't it? Good. Nice. So when you're ready, we'll inhale it out. Come back to center line. Just feel the two sides for a moment. Shake out anything you need to. Good. And we're going to do that same bunch of actions. So inhale yourself into beauty. Soften yourself right into beauty. And exhale, or into your burp. And then on your next inhale, find your midline. Find your center. Find your gathered sense of self. And then on your next inhale, you can let the hands go and melt the sits bones back to bring a gentle curve into the lower back. That's your water element. We're moving into our inner sphere. And then contain it, protect it with your fire container by lengthening the back body, drawing the tailbone and the sits bone down. And you might be able to, once you do that, even feel in again to the widening of the rib cage on your breath. Take right fingertips to the earth, staying grounded in sits bones, and find your way into your side stretch. exploring with arm and shoulder, if that feels good to you, reaching forward or back. Oh, the two sides may feel different. And yeah, if there's an involuntary sound like mine that just happened, let it go. Don't hold it back. It takes so much energy to not feel. It's just sort of a fact. So let yourself feel something here. And release the energy that it takes to not feel it. And then inhale your way out. Whew. Good. And come into your head and your neck and just give your head and neck what it needs. And maybe there's a gentle yes and no, or no, looking from side to side. Letting the spine be long as you explore movement in the head. Maybe some circle. And take your time and match your movement with your breath. And let this be delicious. And let that containing fire protect your right to feel, and to feel delicious. Now when you're ready, come back to center. Let's interlace fingers and do a little pumping. So forward with palms out. And if it feels okay to your shoulders, so listen in, you can start to take those hands up. And it might even be fun to explore the sense of pushing something away. And something that is in your personal space, for example, that you may just not want there. And just push it out. And if it feels good and you find a space that's high up above the head, you can explore there, rooting through sits bones, finding length in the spine, ease in the breath. Oh, if there's a sound, let it go. Oh, and exhale, float the hands. Reach around behind you to interlace fingers. And notice how that brings the shoulders forward. As you inhale, reach shoulders up towards ears and towards the back body, drawing elbows towards one another. And if you don't have a wall behind you like I do, you might even reach out behind yourself. Any amount or none at all. If you notice the front of the rib cage beginning to jut forward, simply draw it down and continue. Let the heart lift. Draw the chin gently back. Oh, that heavy head that sits on top of our spine. When it's forward, the muscles of the back have to work hard to hold it. The muscles of the neck have to work hard. So gently drawing it back into its right alignment can offer tremendous relief. Okay, let that go. Find your center line. Find your sits bones. Feel length in the spine, gently drawing that chin back, and then twist yourself towards the right. Turning around center line. Inhalation, exhalation, and then inhale, unwind, take it all the way to the other side, right around the center line of the body. Inhale to release. Wonderful. Take your feet out front, get off your cushions. Yeah. Let me see if you guys can see me. Wow. Okay, we did this last week. We're going to do it again. Last week we had a really wonderful rounding chorus. We'll see if that can happen again. Fingertips behind you. Give yourself a little cat and cow right here, just gently rocking the spine, the pelvis, feeling those feet on the ground, saying hello to the different parts of the body here, coming awake. Good. Inhale, long spine. Activate the toes of the right foot and lift the toes. Notice what muscles there in the belly are needed. And then exhale those down. They may be muscles that don't get used a lot. Activate toes of the left foot and lift. Find length in the spine. Exhale it down. First side again. Active toes, right foot. And now here we go. Taking weight out of the left foot and lifting that one simultaneously. Ooh. And if it's available, this is really high level, you can let go of the hands. Here we go. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Aw, thanks for playing, guys. You can let that go. Shake something out in the legs. And then let's get on our backs. Oh, the involuntary sounds are the best. All right. Notice that you're on your back. Let your back body melt into your mat and the floor. And if it feels good, you can take your hands to the sides of the rib cage again and bring that same breath in. Bring the breath in. Expand the rib cage. Let it get bigger than you thought it could. And then exhale it out. And 2 more of those. Inhale, make it big. And exhale it out. And 1 more time. Inhale it big. And exhale it out. Take the right toes towards the sky. Reach with the hand. Maybe there's still a softness in the knee. We're getting into the hamstring here, and you can begin to move the foot, moving that knee towards straight. Maybe circling. Good, and then exhale that down. Take left foot up. Moving knee towards straight without forcing. Getting into the hamstring and the back of the leg, reaching with the hands. Pointing, flexing, moving the foot. Working fascia here.
So when I do this,
Yep.
my whole leg goes this way instead of like this.
Uh-huh.
I can't get it to do that.
So that's going to be something that you gradually start to bring back online, I would say. Yep, you don't need to force it with the hands. I would say try to do it muscularly, but put your hands there, Karen, just to support. And then just explore. Explore maybe turning the foot in and then turning the foot out. And if one isn't available, then just noticing that and letting yourself be where you are and explore the edge. Yeah, thanks for telling me. Exhale that down. Let's take both hands up to the sky. Wiggle those fingers. Hello, hello sky. Nice. Inhale, reach for the sky. And as you exhale, let the shoulders melt. What? Inhale, reach and tickle the sky. And exhale, melt the shoulders back into the ground. Good. We're going to periscope the hands with those shoulder blades melted into the ground. Periscope the hands as you take the hands up and overhead. And just play with your own range of motion here. And if it feels good, you can try to bring the back of the rib cage towards the earth. Now if you find the floor, pause there and explore and feel. And come back into that breath and see if you can get the rib cage to get nice and big. And exhale, bring the hands now to cactus arms out to the side. And here in cactus, see if you can melt the back of the rib cage into the earth again. Take the feet the width of the mat and activate your toes. Now take both knees towards the left. Oh, make a sound. Every shape has a sound. Inhale, the knees towards the right. See if there's a sound here. Sound from deep in the muscle tissue, maybe. Good, and then inhale two, come out. What are we doing next? Give your knees a little hug. Rock around in the sacrum. Nice. And we'll take the left foot down, hug the right knee, maybe extend the left foot out. If that feels good to you. And then inhale that left foot back to the floor. Take your right hand onto the right knee and circle it in one direction. And then circle it in the other direction. And staying in the breath. Good, and then exhale that foot down. Hug left knee in towards the heart. Extend right leg if that works for your body. Breathe. Enjoy. Make a sound if that feels good. And then inhale that right foot back to the floor when you're ready. Left hand on left knee. Circle 3 times in one direction. Small or big or medium-sized circles, you decide. And then the other way. You know, what begins to unwind and unravel here for you? And exhale that down. Arms at your side, pelvic tilts. So inhale, increase the curve in the lower spine. Exhale, root the tailbone down. Draw the lower back towards the ground. Do a few of these. Follow your own breath. Feel your feet as you do this. So stay with yourself in feet, in the back of the sacrum, in the back body touching the ground, in the back of the head. And notice if there's tension in the jaw as you do this. And see if some kind of softening is possible. Or even in the forehead. Good, so pressing into feet, you can keep working here with pelvic tilting, or you can lift hips up into a gentle bridge. And exhale it down. Let's do 2 more of those. If you're pumping up into a bridge, inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale it up one last time. And exhale it down. Wonderful. Stretch out the legs, reach with the hands over the head, morning stretch. Take feet, legs, and hands over towards the same side for a little banana stretch. Active toes. Good. Inhale to come out. Take the other side. And then inhale it back to center. Find your way all the way to your hands and knees, if that's rolling to a side and coming around, or if that's rolling on your back to come up and through. If hands and knees is not your jam, you can also stay on your back or get up onto your feet. All right, hands and knees. Walk the knees back a little bit, walk the fingers forward, come into a puppy pose. Find some length in the spine here. Breathe into the back of the rib cage, fill it up. Good, now plant the hands, let the elbows move out towards the side, and draw the heart through and forward. and up. And then exhale, round it back. Yeah, so if you're doing this on your feet, you can get on your feet, bring your hands to your knees and do this, or bring hands to the wall and draw it through. Oh, do a few of these. Bye, Leah. Glad you're here. Oh, are there sounds here for you? There sure are for me. Good. And on your next time, come on down onto your bellies and roll over onto your left side, coming up onto your forearm. This is going to be a little fun and a little funny. Right foot comes forward of the body. Right here. Good. Now check down with your elbow, because you're up on your forearm. Check this out, Karen. Up on the forearm. Elbow underneath shoulder. Good. Find the line of the bone, and then inhale that shoulder onto the back body. Press into the elbow and the forearm, into the foot. Now draw into midline here in the center of the body. Press into the foot and the elbow and lift the hip. Yeah, and you can have your right hand on your right hip. You can reach it to sky. You can have it on the ground. You decide. Notice where your head is. Maybe gently draw the chin back. And then exhale that down. Ooh. Nice, everybody. Roll onto bellies. We're going to take the other side. Onto your right side. Right elbow underneath right shoulder. Open hand. Maybe left hand on left hip. Left foot comes forward. Find your breath. We're going to draw into the midline of the body, press into the elbow and the forearm and the foot to lift the right hip up. Maybe that left hand opens up. So you're feeling your own fire here. And when you're ready, you can come on down. All right. Coming back over to the belly, and then press yourself up to hands and knees. Good. I think we did this in our last class, but we're going to kickstand your right leg around behind you and open the left foot out to the side. Good. Look down at your left hand and walk it one hand print forward, and then draw from the hand up the lines of the arm to draw the shoulder blade onto the back. Nice. Find that center line. Feel a gentle melting of sits bones back, and then root especially strongly through that left sits bone down to the earth. Reach the right hand up and over. Press through the feet, the knee, the hand. Reach through crown as you reach through fingers and find your length. Is there a sound here? Check in with your head and maybe gently explore freeing up your head and neck. Good. And exhale that down. Woo. Come into center for a second and move any way you need to. If there's some circling that you would like in the hips, for example, or cat and cow, or whatever it is, head, shoulders, knees and toes. Okay, other side. So taking the, what is that? Is that your right foot back? Yep, left leg comes out. Look down at your right hand, move it one hand print forward, and pause. Find your breath, and then draw from the hand up the lines of the arm to draw shoulder blade on the back. Find your center, then melt sits bones back into the water, and then root that right sits bone down strongly as you press through the hand and the foot and reach with the left hand, maybe overhead. Find your stretch here. Find what feels good. The two sides may feel radically different. That is to be expected. And when you're ready, inhale to unwind yourself. Move any way you need to. Maybe a little circling in the hips. Maybe there's a pose of a child would feel good to you right now. Whatever it is. Good, and when you're ready, we'll find our way up to standing. You find your way up. Oop, oop, oop. Take your time, take the time you need. Okay. We're gonna grab a strap and a block. Actually, bring both blocks to the front of your mat because we'll be using them there also. Nice. Oh, we already did all that. Amazing. It's like, we already did all that. Cool. All right, my friends. If you've got a strap or a TheraBand or something like that that we're going to use. Do you need a strap, Karen? In the back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so just check in. We're like, what's going on with the bod? What does it need? Oh. I'm just noticing like this area wants to move in me a lot right now. Okay. So come on into your feet and into your breath. Yeah, maybe a little rocking in the feet just to wake up your relationship with your feet and finding your toes. You can close your eyes here if you'd like. You can feel it like a wave. Yeah, coming back into breath, letting the breath be easy. Oh, maybe there's a sound to be made on the exhale. Yeah, good. All right. Lift and spread toes. Let's take the strap out in front. All right. So just check your hands to see if they're pulling in or they're out. And let's see if you can find straight. Nice. Gently draw hands away from one another on the strap and notice how that integrates the head of the arm bones more deeply into the socket. And then when you're ready, you can start to lift that. And working with your range of motion, you may need to open the hands a little wider to get it up high. Nice. And now, rooting through both feet, let's take this into a side stretch. Lengthen the back body as you do this. Nice. And then inhale it. Root again through both feet. Lengthen the back body. Take it to the side. Good. Inhale it up. And just for a moment, without moving or changing anything, look down and notice what your feet are doing. Yeah, that's their... Everybody changed their feet. I wanted you to see first what they are naturally doing, because that's your default state. And then you can make a shift and see what that's like. All right? Take it a little wider. Put a bend in your left elbow. And then use your right hand to circle to move that left bended elbow, shoulder, and arm. It's kind of weird. Like, what am I talking about? So check me out. So I've got my bend is here. This one is kind of straight. And it's just sort of circling it around. Sort of a weird thing. And then you can try it the other way. Yeah. It is weird, right? The brain's like, I don't even know. Good. I don't even know what you're doing. Okay, let's let that go. And shake it out. Shake out anything you need to, like you're a dog just getting out of the water, walking over to your person and shaking all that water all over their really fine outfit of silk. Here it is. Okay. Other side. Okay, let's put a little bend now in that right elbow. Yeah, and here we go. Or Melania Trump's hat. Okay, and then the other way. Good. Come bring that strap just around the neck. Let those arms go. Put a little bend in the knees. Let the upper body come forward. Let the arms be heavy. Oh, make a sound. Oh, all the way through. Good. Nice. And then finally, we'll take that strap behind the body. Good. Put a softness in the knees, lift and spread toes. Nice. And now notice how the shoulders, the heads of the shoulder bones want to come forward. We'll draw them towards the ears and towards onto the back. Draw the hands away from one another. The elbows begin to move towards one another. And then if it feels good, you can take those hands as far back. Maybe they separate and spread out a little bit on the strap. Take them back. Give a little play to the shoulders. See if you can feel your feet. Notice where your head is and gently draw the chin back. And release. Let go of the strap. And we'll take a block. We'll take a block between the thighs. Great. You loving that, Karen? It's feeling so good. You don't stay as long as you want. You'll just join us when you're ready. Yeah. And that's always the invitation here is, I'm guiding, but your body is your guide. So if your body's saying, I need a little less of that, I need a little more of that, that's where you're listening. That's your teacher. All right, so we have a block between our legs. That's a kind of weird thing. I always feel like it'd be fun to just sort of move through the day, through life, in public and with others, and just be like, yeah, I love that. Just like, I got my block and I am unapologetic. All right. Find your breath. We're going to take the actions that we've been, that are the Anusara, universal principles of alignment. So let's begin by breathing and softening our outer skin. And let yourself breathe into something beautiful. Just a softening. And then we'll draw in with our legs to gently hug that block. That's muscular energy. Good. Lift and spread toes. Wiggle the toes around and then bring them back down. That's also muscular energy. Now this block, and you can bring hands to the top of the thighs to help you. The gentle hug on the block, we're going to actually, like it was a Pez candy, move it back towards the back body. That's the water element. That's moving into the infinite inner universe of you. Now here comes the fire. The fire, like I said last week, the spiral moves this way, starting at T12. And it draws the sits bones back towards one another and down towards the pinky toe of the foot. Yeah, you can feel the back body lengthening and narrowing. That's the word I want. Beautiful. Keep all of that engaged. Press through the feet and inhale your hands up. Reach and exhale through midline. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. And this time, with a softness in the knees, we'll take a bend and a forward fold right through midline. And you can bring hands to knees if that's enough for you. Or you can use your other block. Bring your hands to a block. Or if it's available to you, you can bring fingers to the floor. I'm going to bring my hands to the block because that feels really good to me right now. Don't always have to go right to our edge. Sometimes it's nice to back it off. So check in and lift and spread toes again. Gentle hug with that block. Widen the sits bones back, and then draw the sits bones towards one another again to root down through the heels. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, round. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, round. Inhale the heart forward. This time pressing through the feet, still with a softness in the knees. Swan dive it up. Reverse swan dive it up. And exhale, hands to heart. Fun moment. Ready? And poop out the block. Okay, I used to teach middle school. Many of you already know that about me. That would have been a big hit. We could have done that for 40 minutes. Yeah, all day, the whole class. All right, come to the... Madame, can we poop out the block again?
Middle schoolers like that.
Oh, are you kidding? Body humor, stuff like that? So grab your 2 blocks and bring them to the front of your mat. Nice. And just while we're here, since we're here, let's take hands to the side of the rib cage again and do that breath. Let's fill the rib cage. And exhale. Let's fill it. This time, keep it full as you take hands up and above the head and bending the knees, forward folding. And even as you exhale, see if there's some kind of fullness you can keep there in the rib cage. Good. Hands on blocks. Take weight into your right foot, lift and spread toes. Exhale the left foot back into a lunge shape. You find your right lunge shape. The front knee ideally wants to be above the front ankle or back, but not forward. So not forward. Yeah, there it is. Good. Nice. Find your breath. Breathe into beauty. Then draw legs in towards midline. Nice. And then gently, if you can, feel a melting of the sits bones back and apart. There's your inner water. And we're going to protect all that you just constructed because it's sacred by rooting that front sits bone down, tucking it down and around and feeling it root through the foot. Turn the back foot to be parallel to the back of the mat and walk the blocks to the inside of the front foot. Good. Walk them forward any amount as you draw the hips back. Pressing through feet, finding length through crown and ease in the breath. Make a sound. Oh, I'm sure there's something here that's like, oh, there's space opening that hasn't opened in at least a few minutes. Okay, walk the blocks back, walk them around, turn the back toes, and when you're ready, we're going to bring the back foot forward. Let go of the head for just a moment with soft knees, maybe a bounce in the knees. Let go of the head. Make a sound. Good. Bring your weight now into your left foot. Lift and spread toes. Take weight out of the right. Step it back into a lunge shape. Breathe yourself into beauty. And then on the next inhalation, draw the legs in towards the midline. Ooh. Zip yourself up. Find your center line. On the next inhalation, melt the sits bones back and apart. Come into your inner landscape, deep and infinite. And then protect it, contain it by rooting that front sits bone down, 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 tucking it under and pressing through the front foot. Turn the back foot to be parallel to the back of your mat and walk your blocks to the inside of the front foot. You okay? Good. As you walk your blocks forward any amount, draw the hips back. pressing through feet, finding length through crown. Oh, I'm sure there's something in here that's found some new space and that wants to make a little sound on the exhale. Yep. Yeah. And when you're ready, inhale, walk those back. Turn the back onto the back toes again and step it forward. Good. Lift and spread toes. Gentle draw of shins towards one another. Inhale the heart space forward. Press into the feet. Soft knees rise up. Reverse swan dive. And exhale, hands to heart. Interlace fingers, like when we were seated. Press forward. Let's see if that can be connected to your back body and your breath. And then pressing through feet, begin to draw hands up. Soften something in the jaw, something in the shoulders, something in the neck. Yep. And then pressing through feet, both feet will take this into a side stretch. And maybe this time it's not about how far you can go, but how long you can get. So pressing through the hands and the feet, finding some length. Nice, and then inhale to come out, rooting again through both feet, finding length as you come into a side stretch. Lengthen the back body. Good. Inhale it up. Exhale the hands into cactus arms. Imagine a little fireball in each hand. Yeah, what's that like? We're now action heroes. You want to throw it? Where do you want to throw it? Out that window? Okay. What? Sorry. Yeah. I'm right with you. The whole charade. The whole damn charade. Yeah, good. Find the center line of the body. Good. And we're going to just gently turn ourselves around that center line of the body, keeping the hips steady. And then inhale to come out. Other side, keeping hips steady. And inhale to come out. Exhale the hands down and shake that out. Shake out your fireballs. Whoo! Shake all the way. All right, hands together in front of the heart. Take weight into your right foot. Lift and spread toes. And feel the back body long as you take weight out of the right toes. Find balance. Nice. And then when you're ready, with a softness in the front knee, just step that back. You're opposite. You're opposite. Okay, you're opposite of me, but whatever.
You said this.
Did I say that?
Well, I'm just following what you're doing. Which dips do you?
Okay. Well, we'll just be doing it on different legs, and that's fine. All right. Ground the back foot down to be at a 45-degree angle. Take a little softness in both knees and just move the hips in a tiny little circles, one way and then the other. Good. And now draw legs in towards midline. Melt the sits bones back. So see if you can get your hips facing me. Yeah, there it is. You want to turn your back foot and maybe even widen your stance a little bit. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, good. Nice. Widen sits bones back, and here comes the containment fire. Protective ring of fire. I know Johnny Cash comes in when I say that. Tuck and root that front sits bone down. Good. Now inhale the hands up. Pressing through feet, reach, and on the exhalation, come into cactus. Get your fireballs into your hands. Be ready in case you need them. And maybe these are the fireballs that break through illusion. And then inhale your way back to center to show truth. Hands together in front of the heart. We're going to reverse it now. Look down at your front foot. Put weight into the front foot. Take weight out of the back. And then slowly in a balancing way, bring that back foot forward. Ooh, yeah. A little bounce, a little movement any way you need to. And we're going to take the other side. Now for me, the other side means I am lifting and spreading the toes now. People who are looking at me of my left foot, your left foot, my right foot, but left foot. Taking weight out of the other one. Feeling into the back body. Good. Finding balance. And then when you're ready, step it back. Ground the back foot down at a 45, maybe taking a little wider stance. Soften the back knee and give yourself a little circle in the hips, one way and then the other. Then straighten. And on an exhalation, draw legs in towards midline. On an inhalation, soften the sits bones back. Find that watery inner terrain. And then contain and protect it by drawing that front sits bone, tucking it down and around, and pressing through the foot. Nice. As you press now through both feet, lift hands up. Reach for the sky. Grab some energy from that sun and take it into the hands and exhale it down. And maybe send that beautiful fire right where it's needed most. Maybe it's a healing, clarifying, containing, protecting fire. Finding your midline, give yourself a gentle spin right around center line of the body. And then the other way. Good. Inhale back to center. Hands to heart. Weight in the front foot. Take weight out of the back foot. Take your time so you can really feel your own capacity to find balance on one foot. And then let it go. Yeah. All right, we're going to bring our mats to the wall. So you can take yours right back to that little whatever that is in the back. And feel free to take yours right to the mirrors there, no problem with that. And we're going to put our hands on the wall at shoulder height with wide fingers. Yeah. So,
Okay, good. Oh, is there not space or you don't mind if I put my fingers on?
I don't mind. Here, why don't we turn this so that I'll give you something to stand on. And then you can just use that right there. There we go. All right. So find the breath. Breathe yourself into something beautiful. And then gently draw to midline. Feel like you're isometrically drawing your hands towards one another, like you wanted to scooch the wall. Nice. Bring awareness into your sits bones and melt them back. Find that watery inner space of feeling. And then contain it and protect it by drawing the sits bones down towards the heels, towards the pinky toes. Good. Find length. And on the inhalation, taking weight into the right hand, turn yourself into a side plank. So your palm is right on the wall there, Jeff. Yeah, walk the feet towards the wall a little bit so you're not so far out. And open. Yeah, that's it. Good. And like when we were on our sides on our mats at the start of our practice, find that midline. Feel the right shoulder in the socket on the back body. Press through and find length. On the inhalation, take the left hand to the wall and turn onto that side to do your side plank. Same actions apply. So inhale, then find that midline, draw that shoulder blade onto the back, then press through the hand, find length through feet and crown. Inhale, look at the wall, bring the hands back, put a bend in the knees, take the hips back for a downward facing dog. Find length in the spine. Ease in the breath. Feel from hands up and into shoulders, into heart. Press it back out again. And then on the inhalation, we're going to come back into our plank position and draw the heart through for an up dog at the wall. Upper arms rotate towards the sky as you press through the hands, letting the heart lift. And now exhale, put a bend in the knees. Take the hips back for downward facing dog again. And inhale, draw it into plank and into your up dog. Upper arms rotate towards the sky. Good. Exhale, release. Move any way you need to. How you doing? Good? Okay. Yeah. And when you're ready, we're going to open the thigh. So you can actually have your right hip looking at the wall and your right fingertips at the wall. Look down at your right foot and lift and spread the toes. Bring weight into the right foot. And we're going to put a bend in the left knee and reach with the left hand to the left ankle. And pause. Pause and breathe yourself into your outer skin and soften. And then on the next inhale, draw in, find midline. The legs draw in towards one another. You find that midline. And on your next inhalation, melting the sits bones back and wide. And then as you exhale, rooting both sits bones down, down. Then the knee moves away from the heart. And the heart opens towards the sky. And the left shoulder finds its way towards the back body. But keep a length in the back body as you do this so that you're not crunching the lower back. That's your containment, that's your fire. Good, and then exhale to unwind it. See how that feels. The two sides of the body might feel radically different now. And we'll take the other side. So left fingertips at the wall. Look down at your left foot, lift and spread toes. Find the breath, and then put a bend in the right knee. Reach with the right hand. Other side. Unless you did that one last time. Okay. Pause and breathe. Soften the outer skin. Let go of any expectations of yourself or how you think this should be, or anything else for that matter, just for a moment. And then we'll draw in towards the midline. The legs move towards one another. Nice. On the next inhalation, softening the sits bones back and wide, and then lengthening the back body, so drawing the tailbone down. Then the right knee moves towards the earth, maybe a bend in the right elbow, as the heart lifts towards the sky. Check out your head, maybe drawing that chin gently back. Good, and inhale to come out. Move any way you need to. Shake it out. Great. I like that one. Let's take our hands back to the wall again. And find your plank position. Isometric draw of hands towards one another. Bring weight into the right hand. Turn yourself. Side plank. Breathe. Inhale, unwind. Bring weight into the left hand. Wide fingers. Side plank on the left. Find length in all directions. Inhale, center. Hands shoulder width apart at the shoulder level. Bend the knees. Take the hips back. Downward facing dog. Find length, especially in the back body. And then roll yourself to come into plank. Roll the back body into plank. And keep rolling, rolling, rolling until the heart lifts up. Good, and then exhale, unwind. And staying here at the wall, using your blocks in front of you, we'll take a wide stance with our butt at the wall. And if that's too slippery for your feet, just turn your mat so you've got the sticky mat under your feet. Otherwise, we're good. So taking a wide stance with the feet. Nice. The wall's behind you in case you need it. Great. And find your breath. Feel your feet. Isometrically draw your feet towards one another. We're going to create a boundary. Give ourselves the stability that we need. And as we forward fold, the sits bones move back and wide, and they might hit the wall, which is great, because we'll play with that. So let your sits bones hit the wall. Use your hands on the blocks. And then see if you can feel, as we bring in the fire element, the sits bones now moving down towards the feet and drawing towards one another. And let that come all the way out through the heart's expression. Good. Take the right block to the center, right underneath your head, and left hand to the left hip. Keeping the hips steady, give yourself a gentle twist. Inhale, unwind it. Left block underneath the head, right hand to right hip. Keeping hips steady, legs active, gentle twist. Inhale, unwind yourself. I'm going to move the blocks. And now take a wide stance on your mat lengthwise. And I think I didn't transition you very well out of that pose. So come on up when you're ready. Yep. And using the length of the mat, take a wide stance on the length of the mat. Great. And you can bring your upper body up when you're ready. We'll turn left toes towards the left, put a bend in the left knee, open the hands out to a warrior. All right, we need to be warriors now, right? So find that breath and soften into something beautiful. Then isometrically draw feet towards one another. The back thigh melts gently back, and then the front sits bone tucks down to draw the head of the femur more deeply into the socket and presses through the foot. Keep that, and all of that engaged, and look out over your hand. A containing fire that protects what is most precious. Turn that hand facing up, dance it back. And then as you inhale, we'll take that elbow right down to the knee, or put your hand on the knee, whichever works for your body. And the right hand comes up and over the ear. Just like when we started our practice. Inhale to come up. Walk your feet back together. Bounce it out. Bounce, shake through fingers. Let something go. Good. And then step or jump your feet back into a wide stance. Turn the right toes to the right, put a bend in the knee, and open the hands wide. Good. Pause and breathe. Start right there, opening yourself to something beautiful. And then isometric draw of the feet towards one another. Inhale, melt the back thigh, gently, gently, and then exhale and root strongly to contain with the fire. Down through the feet, press through the feet, look out through over the hand. Turn that palm facing up, dance it back. And then if it works for you, you can exhale, bring that hand to the knee or the elbow to the knee, and the other hand over the ear. You do you. Breathe. Hey, X. And when you're ready, press into the feet to rise up. Hey, my sweet. Walk your feet together. And we're going to come to sitting on two blocks. Yeah, so we're going to come to sitting on 2 blocks. And this is the last thing we'll do before we get on our backs. So make a little block tower. And hopefully that's high enough. Good. Yeah, cat comes into yoga studio. Everything stops. All right, bring the hands forward. And just give your back a little rounding. And let the chin move towards the heart. Breathe. Inhale it up. All right, we're going to do a modified Ustrasana, which is a camel pose. So come into your breath and find your center line. Feel a gentle draw in towards your own center line. Good. And find your sits bones. Let them widen gently back. And then strongly root down. There's your fire. So containment here is going to be super important. And another way to do this is to draw navel towards the back body. Get long, bring shoulders towards the ears, and then reach back with a hand. Maybe you reach the ground. Let the heart lift up. Maybe you can reach with the other hand and let the heart lift up. Keep drawing legs to midline, melting thighs back, and then rooting strongly, drawing navel towards spine, back body long as heart lifts up. And explore here what works for you in this moment. Come out when you need to. Good. Nice. Inhale your way up. Take the blocks out from beneath you, and yeah, let's take a little child's pose. Hey, Ekis. Hey, little baby. Hey, sweetheart. So nice of you to visit us.
Just thinking about him.
Yeah,
20
you're like,
seconds before he came in.
really? Maybe you, did you manifest my cat, Jeff?
I do.
Make a sound if it feels good. And maybe some micro movement in the hips. And you can stay here for as long as you like. And or when you're ready, we'll get onto our backs. For guess what? Shavasana. If you have a blanket and that would feel good, you can put that over your body. If you've got a bolster, you can stick that under your knees. And on your way to Shavasana, if there's anything else that your body would like, if you want to hug your knees, for example, and rock around on the sacrum, or even give yourself a gentle twist. Or pet a cat, whatever it is. You find your way into your Shavasana. And I have a little poetry to read when you're settled. And this comes to you from the English poet and philosopher David Whyte, from Consolations. Anger is the deepest form of compassion for another, for the world, for the self, for a life, for the body, for a family, and for all our ideals, all vulnerable and all possibly about to be hurt. Stripped of physical imprisonment and violent reaction, anger is the purest form of care. The internal living flame of anger always illuminates what we belong to, what we wish to protect, and what we are willing to hazard ourselves for. What we usually call anger is only what is left of its essence when we are overwhelmed by its accompanying vulnerability, when it reaches the lost surface of our mind or our body's incapacity to hold it, or when it touches the limits of our understanding. What we name as anger is actually only the incoherent physical incapacity to sustain this deep form of care in our outer daily life. The unwillingness to be large enough and generous enough to hold what we love helplessly in our bodies or our mind with the clarity and breadth of our whole being.